So the cart can be accessed from the merchant location, and there is a hotkey here at the top so that you can go there and it'll take you directly to that section where that button is housed. You can see here that we already have some order history. Everything is automatically upserted once your order is placed, so you see your details live. I'm going to go ahead and hit the new deployment order button. And it's going to take us straight into the POS Portal shopping cart. You can see it takes a couple of seconds to load. That's just due to the fact that we are in our demo org, and it does have all of our parts in here just for the demonstration purposes. If we scroll down, you can see that everything is separated. It lands us into our smart part, so we see everything by manufacturer and then by part type. So it breaks down check readers, pin pads, terminal pin pads. I'm going to go down to a piece of equipment that I know has some application information against it. I'm going to put the VX510 3MB in here. And so this is the reason why we call the smart part the smart part. It takes us straight into the page where we can see everything associated to the unit that we selected, kind of your one-stop shop. So the VX510 has paper rolls, some cables, an overlay. All of these items are related to that unit. This is to prevent you a couple of clicks of having to go into the category section of the cart and order more items. You can see here there's direct price. This is the cost to the client. So this is from POS Portal to the client. We also give you the opportunity to put in some revenue pricing so that if you wanted to do some reporting or gen up some invoices on your side of the house via P2, you'd be able to have that pricing available in there so you could see per every order how much you charged. I'm going to go ahead and select a quantity of 1 and add that to the cart. The next step is our download screen. So this is where you're going to add an application. During the implementation period, that's when all of the applications that you are going to support will be available and added to your catalog. We're going to go ahead and add something here. You can see that this application telephone number automatically populated. During implementation, we also set that up so that's automatically populated into these fields, and it just prevents a little fat fingering of any numbers. Since the download ID is specific to the merchant and this terminal, that has to be entered individually for every order, and the same as the terminal. This automatically defaults to a Visa test. This is so that our QA team and our download team can go in and make sure that the application that they've downloaded, the file that's in the unit, actually matches the merchant that we're shipping this information to. So we're going to go ahead and hit save. And you can see here there's a cart button. This will bring back those tabs, so if you wanted to add anything to your order at any time, you could do so. There's also a cancel order button, which upon being pressed will take you directly back to the merchant location. The cart does recognize that you have a pin pad on the order, in the terminal, and you can choose a key to have inserted into that unit if you would like. Those again are added to your catalog during the implementation period. You also have the option to choose whether or not you would like POS Portal to perform a debit test transaction. We'll go ahead and hit save on there. This is the first stop to kind of get an overview of your cart to make sure everything that you've ordered so far is what you want. Make sure you haven't left anything off. You can see here on the download information, the items that are hand keyed are actually bolded so that you can compare those to your entry point and just make sure that the information you have here is correct. If you did find that you transposed a couple of numbers, you could just hit the edit download hyperlink and you'd be able to correct those on the fly and save, and it'll take you back to the page where you were. The same is true for the injection. If you notice that you chose the wrong key, you can always hit edit. It'll take you back to the screen to choose a new key. All of the line items here, this is the device configuration, injection. These are all line items added on when you're making your selections in the cart. There's also a terminal sticker here. During implementation, we have a template that you can choose to have either static or dynamic information from the merchant location and the order added to this terminal sticker. And our QA team does go in and affix that terminal sticker to the unit. So you can see here that the MID is pulled from the merchant location that you came in from. The TID is pulled from the application page. And then we have a static field here for customer service, for supplies, anything that you would like to have on the side of the sticker for ease of your merchant. You're also able to add an overlay 2, this overlay was added based on recognizing the application that was chosen. Again, more setup and configuration that's done during implementation. At any point, you can empty your cart, update quantities, go to ship and pay or check out completely, and then you can also go into category and add more items. So we're going to go ahead and hit ship and pay. This is going to take us to our merchant's shipping screen. So this pulls the shipping details from the merchant location where you started this order from. If you did want this shipped somewhere else, like directly to the client, maybe to an agent to take it and install it personally, you can change that address here. It won't affect the merchant location on the CRM, on the P2 record. It will only affect this order scenario. You can also, you have the opportunity to add an email address. If you wanted to add an email address for your merchant or your agent, there's email notifications within P2 that would go based off of the email address entered here. So when your order is placed, you can do an email notification for your merchant to let them know that they've got an order coming on their way, or that the order was placed. You can have an email notification go out once the order ships, and you can also have an email notification go out once the actual package is delivered to the merchant. So if you did have an agent who wanted to go and install or give them a call and see if they needed any help, they could get that notification upon delivery of the package. Really great features. There's also a section here for some carrier notes, leave on porch, leave with neighbor, anything like that. We're going to go ahead and proceed to the next page. This takes us to our shipping options. So you can see here the total weight of the order is available. That's because every part that we have in our catalog that can be weighed is weighed. If it doesn't register on a scale, obviously it wouldn't get a weight. But the unit, if there were any cables, if there were any paper rolls, all of those would register in the total weight of your order, and that's how the tax quote is given. Also, depending on where you're shipping it to. So we're going to go ahead and choose FedEx Ground Services. You see here there's some revenue freight. If you wanted to add a percentage to your freight so that you can, again, for your own informational purposes, for you wanting to go in and bill your merchant some additional freight charges, you could do the same thing here where we would add a percentage to your freight, give it a little bit of a markup so that you could see those figures in a report in P2. So I'm going to go ahead and hit proceed. And again, we come to a confirm order page. Still have the option to go back if you notice that you forgot something, but this is kind of your last chance to take a look, make sure everything in your cart is exactly as you want it to go to your merchant. Subtotal, the handling, the freight, all of the information is here. If you did need to go back in and maybe you forgot you wanted this overnighted, you could hit the hyperlink to change that. You could also change or correct the address. So we give you plenty of opportunities to go in and make any last minute changes before submitting the order to POS Portal. So I'm going to go ahead, and we do have a fulfillment note section that we use internally. We advise our clients to always use their ticketing system or to contact our support team for any questions or issues with an order, just because the fulfillment notes can sometimes be viewed towards the end of the processing of the order, and we'd hate for something to get missed and have to go back through either download or some other portion of our process. I am going to make sure to put a note on here to contact me, because our operations team does go through our queue every couple of minutes to pull new orders, and we don't want this one to get shipped. So I'm going to go ahead and process this order. So now you can see we're directed back to the merchant location page where we started from. If I go here to this deployment orders tab, the order that we just placed is available immediately with the status of open. You can see here there's some edit and delete buttons. Because we're demoing from a system admin level, you can see these items, but it is important to know that an edit delete is only for this record in P2. It wouldn't affect your actual order with POS Portal. If you wanted to make an edit or cancel your order completely, we would give you the avenue to do that with our support team via a ticket. We have a couple of ways to reach into us. So depending on the level of user who's going to be inputting orders, we can take away these permissions for edit, delete. The only reason they show is because we're at a system admin access. So I'm going to go ahead and click into the order number just to show you what the details look like. And you can see here, the ordering information is all here, the payment type, where you actually ship this particular order to. So you'd be able to see if that was different than the shipping address on your merchant location. The billing details, which will increment. So you can see here that the extended cost right now is 0 for these items. As the items get scanned in our pick process to your order, you'll see these extended costs move up. So they're based on a ship quantity being 1 here. So we also are able, once the order is actually shipped, the package details will be available here, and we'll go into what that looks like. So we can see here that this is an order that is already shipped. The package details are here. You would see the tracking number, the carrier, the service level, and then also once that is actually delivered to the location, you would see the sign by date and the delivery date and time. You can also click into that tracking number and it'll bring you to a screen here where you can actually track the package. So even if it said that it was shipped but you wanted to see the details of how long it took, where it stopped along the way, if you hit track package, you can see here it'll take you directly to the carrier site because that is a test package. It's not finding the tracking number, but you see it does link you directly to that site so you can see the details. Also, upon your order shipping, your equipment will automatically install on the merchant location. So if we go to the merchant location, upon that order shipping from our warehouse, you will see the terminal solution available here. It's also sometimes referred to as installed equipment. Either way, all the details, the serial number, the TID, the device that was actually sent, the install date, warranty information will all be available here once it ships out. There's also the ability to go in and create a ticket. So as I discussed before, if you wanted to reach out to our contact center, so if there was on this order, you know that you've submitted it and you realize that your merchant called you and wants an emergency, wants this way sooner than ground and you need to actually overnight it, you can click here to create a deployment ticket. And we give you some options for selecting who you're going to select a category. So if we wanted to change the order, you can see here that you want to change the ship method and it automatically defaults to the user and then just provide the details. Okay, so that's the details that you would give. And I will put in a message here. You can click save here. That goes into our, I've selected an origin. So that ticket will now be passed along to the proper queue within POS Portal. Something where an order needs to be changed is probably going to go to our support team, where they would go in, they would make the change in their system, and then they would respond to the ticket to let you know that they've made that change. You'll receive an email notification letting you know that a change has occurred to this ticket, and you can just click into the ticket and you'll be able to see what their response was, confirm that they've actually gone in and completed what you've asked. And that would be in this message area here. Also, if we need to get a hold of you, if we are trying to download your unit and we're getting a failure, we would create a ticket over to the person who actually keyed this order. with the details of whatever we experienced and what we need from you, and then you're able to, you have the opportunity to respond to that ticket with the message, please try different TID, please try different download number, anything along those lines. Sometimes your processor has something wrong in the file, and then you would just give us that message and you would hit respond, and then we would get a notification that you've responded to the ticket so that we could reattempt your download or whatever other issue we had with your order. So I think that's it. All of the details are also available via P2 for reporting purposes. So if you needed to run any kind of metrics or want to keep a gauge of your orders by status, all of those items are available. This object is, every detail you see in this object is available to report on, just like everything else that's in your P2 experience. Thank you.